Hello, and welcome back to the final couplet with me, Theo Cowan. Yes, that's right, you're looking at me live. Well, I'm not live, but I am on video. And I said I'd be doing this more frequently. But, what's it been, 15, 16 sonnets since I last did a video? But look, I'm trying. I'm not a particularly technically gifted person. So this does take me a bit of time to set up everything and get it all in the right place. And it still probably doesn't look how you'd like a YouTube video to look. I don't have all the nice sort of lighting and stuff. But I do have flowers. So not all YouTubers have flowers, do they? Anyway, today we're looking at Sonnet 109 because that of course comes after Sonnet 108. Let's take a listen, shall we? Oh, never say that I was false of heart. Though absence seemed my flame to qualify, as easy might I from myself depart, as from my soul which in thy breast doth lie. That is my home of love. If I have ranged, like him that travels, I return again, just to the time, not with the time exchanged, so that myself bring water for my stain. Never believe, though in my nature reigned all frailties that besiege all kinds of blood, that it could so preposterously be stained, to leave for nothing all thy sum of good. For nothing this wide universe I call, save thou my rose. In it thou art my all. So, Sonnet 109 has some glimmers of past sonnets, as we know and love. We know Shakespeare likes to repeat himself. Which is actually what Sonnet 108 was all about. If you haven't listened to that, go back and take a listen. But 109, there's also this theme, which again has cropped up in the past, of infidelity and him potentially cheating, dare I say, on his partner. And there is this theme of distance. They have been apart, him and the recipient of this poem. And he's essentially saying that, look, yeah, we've been apart and it might seem like, my love isn't as strong as it once was, but that's not true. And look, I might have done some bad things. I'm sorry, we all get up to bad things. But at the end of the day, I still love you. What more can I say? I guess it seems like this is a sonnet quite soon after they've been apart, so they're back together again. And I don't know about you, but I think if my lover came back from being away, maybe on holiday or whatever, they came off the plane and they said, hey, how you doing? Just to let you know, I might have got up to a few things, all right, while I was away. I might have maybe slept around with some other people, but just to let you know, they were sort of dilly-dallies, they were sort of fancies, they were nothing, and you are everything. So, we good now? Everything okay? I don't know if that was sort of what happened when my lover came back to me. I would be a bit concerned, not gonna lie. Anyway, I think it's about time we dive into this line by line and work out what the hell Shakespeare was going on about in Sonnet 109. So, it's time to break this down line by line. Here we go. We start with, oh, never say that I was false of heart, though absent seemed my flame to qualify. So here he's saying, oh, don't say that I was unfaithful to you, even though my absence made it look like my love maybe didn't burn as bright as it once did. all right? But don't say that I was unfaithful to you. That's unfair. So that's pretty straightforward, isn't it, that one? Then he continues with, as easy might I from myself depart, as from my soul which in thy breast doth lie. Now this one is potentially a bit more abstract than the first couple of lines. And here I think he's saying, it would be as easy for me to separate myself from myself as it would be to separate my soul which lies within your heart. So I don't know about you, but I think separating yourself from yourself is impossible. And I think that's what Shakespeare's getting at here. And that is just as hard as separating his soul from his lover's heart, which is to say that is also impossible. So essentially he's saying it's bloody hard, all right, to take my soul out of your heart. I love you. And then he continues with, that is my home of love. If I have ranged like him that travels, I return again. So your heart, or you, are my home. You're my comfy place. And if I've strayed away, which it sounds like he has, if I've strayed away, like a traveller, I have returned again. And then he continues this same thought with, just to the time, not with the time exchanged. And here he's saying, so he's returned, and he's returned right on time. And with his feelings, crucially, his feelings are unchanged. So he's back, baby. And he feels the same way about you as he did before. Don't worry about that. The flame is still burning bright. So that myself bring water for my stain. Now this is an interesting one. So he's talked about, don't think that I was unfaithful. That's not what it was. And he's saying he's back. He's been travelling. He's back like a traveller. His feelings unchanged. And I think from this he's saying, so he's making up for his wrongdoings. And I really like this line, so that myself bring water for my stain. So he brings his own water for the stain that he's made. So he's been up to no good by the sounds of it. Probably been, let's be honest, he's probably been sleeping about. And but don't worry, he's got his big bucket of water. I like to think he's got a bucket of water, even though he doesn't say it here. And he's just going to pour it all over that stain, wash it away. Don't worry about it. But he's going to do it, crucially. He's going to sort out his own problems, his own wrongdoings. Then he continues with, never believe that in my nature reigned all frailties that besiege all kinds of blood, that it could so preposterously be stained to leave for nothing all thy sum of good. So here he's saying, look, never believe that, even though I have the same weaknesses in me as, everyone else, all right, we've all got urges, that I could be so stupid, so idiotic to leave someone as incredible as you for something so worthless. So don't believe these things. Yes, we all have urges. Yes, I might have slept with some other people. But, and here he's being a little bit rude, I think, saying that this other person is worthless. If they heard that, they'd be fuming, wouldn't they? If I was his lover when he's been away, I would be angry at being called worthless. Because that's probably not what he told his lover when he was sleeping with him. Was it? Probably saying that you're amazing, you're incredible. But anyway, the point is, he's saying you're amazing. I would never leave you for anyone so worthless. It would be stupid of me. And now we're on to the final couplet. For nothing this wide universe I call, save thou my rose, in it thou art my all. It's a nice, tidy final couplet. It's not confusing, this one. And he's saying the whole universe, except for you, my rose, using the flower analogy again, means nothing to me. So the universe is pointless, it's nothing. Apart from you, you are my everything. So the universe is completely pointless. It's nothing. You are everything to me. So that is a pretty bold statement after saying that you might have been up to no good. But it's all right. He's bringing his own pail of water or bucket of water. He's going to wash away the stains and anything bad that he's been up to over the last bit of time when he's been away. He is basically saying that was meaningless. That was nothing. Don't worry about it. I still love you. Let's be together. What more can I say? It's a compelling argument. I don't know if this, personally, if I received this, I don't know if this would be enough for me to go, hold on, but you did also just sleep with other people. Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? Because at the start he is saying, don't say that I was unfaithful to you. But reading into it and the lines to follow do sort of suggest that maybe you were. And we know from other sonnets that he has been in the past. So, yeah, it's a bit of a tough one, this one. I don't know if it'll win me round, but he's given it a good go. Now, I think it's about time we put this to our story. And if you're just joining this podcast for the first time for some mad reason, you've decided that Sonnet 109 will be the one that you want to dive into first. Fair play to you. Maybe you just read it and you thought, what the hell was going on there? What I like to do to make it a bit relatable, and just for a laugh really, is improvise a story around the sonnet that we've just broken down. And yes, the story does have an arc, has been going for a good 100 sonnets, but you don't need to have listened to the other ones really, because I'll catch you up. So, the Earl of Southampton, alright, you might have heard of him. He has been in prison, and him and Shakespeare, they were lovers. Then he got put in jail. And this is potentially based on some truth, which is, can't be said for a lot of these stories that I make up. But the Earl of Southampton and Shakespeare, they were lovers. He got put in jail for rebelling in Essex or something like that. And he's been in jail for a long time. Shakespeare, obviously, he's had other lovers and stuff in that time. He's been through it, actually. And he then finds out that the Earl of Southampton is leaving prison. He's being let out. And Shakespeare goes, maybe I still fancy him. Maybe I still love that guy. And so he turns up at the gates. He's got a rose and he says, hey, here I am. It's me, Shakespeare. Remember us? We were a thing, weren't we? And the Earl of Southampton goes, yeah, we were, but I haven't heard from you for ages. And Shakespeare says, yeah, sorry about that, but don't worry, because actually I've written you loads and loads of sonnets, and they're all back home, and they all say how much I love you and stuff like that, so maybe come on back and have a little read. And so the Earl of Southampton goes, well, I guess he could be telling the truth, pops back to Shakespeare's, and Shakespeare produces all of these sonnets. Now, he is telling no lie, he has been writing these sonnets to other lovers, but he's pretending that he wrote them all for the Earl of Southampton. And the Earl of Southampton laps it up. He believes him. But he does have some criticism, and he says, they are quite samey. They repeat the same topic again and again, and he's got a point, to be fair. And Shakespeare says, yeah, okay, I wasn't asking for a critique, but I've actually got a sonnet to tell you why there's so much repetition in it. He produces Sonnet 108, which says, yeah, there's repetition, but it's hard to come up with new things about someone that's so amazing. All right, I love you. And he says, yeah, it's much like prayers, quite a lot like prayers. You sort of repeat the same thing, but they're so meaningful. And that's where we left off in the story. Shakespeare's just read Sonnet 108 to the Earl of Southampton. Let's see how it was received, and let's see how Sonnet 109 fits into all this. Shakespeare finishes reading Sonnet 108 to the Earl of Southampton. The Earl of Southampton looks up at him from his chair and says, "Thank you, Shakespeare. I'm really glad you wrote that for me. It explains a lot. I understand the repetition now. I understand that I'm so incredible and beautiful and gorgeous that, yeah, it's hard. It's hard to come up with new things. And I like how you brought in religion. I appreciate that. It makes sense. So thank you. And thank you for all the other sonnets. I think I believe that you do still love me." And he goes over to Shakespeare and gives him a nice kiss. And then goes, "Oh, I actually just got to pop to the toilet. I hope you don't mind. Oh, where is it?" And Shakespeare says, "Just upstairs on the left." So with that, the Earl of Southampton runs up the stairs. He's quite desperate for the toilet, by the sounds of it. And when he reaches it, he walks in, locks the door, looks down. What's that on the floor? It's a pair of boxer briefs. But the Earl of Southampton knows that Shakespeare wears Y-fronts. These can't be Shakespeare's pants. He picks them up, looks at them quizzically. He thinks, who the hell wears these boxer briefs? Shakespeare's been sleeping about behind my back. I'm fuming after all these sonnets that he's written. And then to find this out, it is disgusting. So with that, he does need the toilet, so he goes quickly, very quickly. And then he bursts out through the door of the toilet, down the stairs, and shouts, "Shakespeare, where are you? Shakespeare!" He's very angry. Shakespeare says, "Hey, what is it?" The Earl of Southampton brandishes the boxer briefs above his head and says, Whose boxer briefs are these?" And Shakespeare says, "Oh, they are mine. They're mine." And the Earl of Southampton says, "Don't lie to me, Shakespeare. I know you don't wear boxer briefs." And Shakespeare says, No, I do now. I've changed. I changed when you were in prison. I quite like them now. They're quite spacious." And the Earl of Southampton says, "You're lying. I can tell when you're lying." And he runs over to Shakespeare and quickly pulls down his garters. Shakespeare says, "What the hell are you doing?" And there he is, standing in his Y-fronts. "Aha! I knew it! I knew you were lying to me, Shakespeare. Whose are these?" And Shakespeare says, Okay. I'll come clean. Yes, it's true. I have been sleeping with other men. Not just one, multiple people. Not just men. Women as well. All sorts of people. I'm sorry. Look, we've been apart from each other for so long. What do you expect? The Earl of Southampton says, "I expect you to remain faithful." I did. And Shakespeare says, "Well, I mean, it's a bit easier for you because you were in prison. I mean, can't have been that much choice in there." And the Earl of Southampton said, "Nah, that's not the point, actually. And you know what? There were some lovely people in there. They might have been dead, but that, is still a temptation when you're in prison." Shakespeare says, "Look, I'm sorry, but I need to tell you that these people, all right, these love affairs that I've had, they mean nothing. They're worthless to me. You are everything, I promise." The Earl of Southampton says, "Yeah, a likely story. I bet you tell that to all your lovers." And Shakespeare says, "Look, I have written a sonnet just for this occasion, because I felt I might need to tell you this. Can I read it to you?" The Earl of Southampton turns his back on him and says, "I don't think I can hear it, Shakespeare." And Shakespeare says, "Please." He gets down on his knees and says, Please let me read it to you. It explains how much I love you." The Earl of Southampton turns round and says, "Fine, but make it quick, for God's sake." So Shakespeare brandishes Sonnet 109. Brandishes? Well, he takes it out from his back pocket. He doesn't quite brandish it. He takes it out from his back pocket and reads, Oh, don't say that I was unfaithful to you, even though my absence made it look like my love didn't burn as bright. It would be as easy for me to separate from myself as it would to separate from my soul, which lies within your heart. You are my home. And if I strayed away like a traveller, I have returned again, right on time, and with my feelings unchanged. So I'm making up for wrongdoings. Never believe that, even though I have the same weaknesses in me than everyone else, that I could be so stupid to leave someone as amazing as you for something so worthless. The whole universe, except for you, my rose, means nothing to me. You are my everything. So, there we have it, Sonnet 109 and the story to go with it. What the hell is going to happen in Sonnet 110? Will the Earl of Southampton forgive Shakespeare? Find out next week on the final couplet. Until then, bye.